What's up, family? If I did this right, we should be back. All right. Um, I'm waiting on a guest. First of all, I want to say thanks for tuning in to Another Way to See It. We are we're live. All right, you guys. I got to get better. I got to get more organized, but I am. I'm working on it. It's a process. First thing I did want to do is I sincerely want to thank you guys. Here comes my guest. Just hold on. Could you mute up for a second? Can you hear me? Okay. Sweet, 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 sweet. Um, I did want to be a little more sincere and really thanking you guys for tuning into the channel. Um, it's relatively new, trying to get it going. I can't do it without you guys. I wouldn't be here if you wasn't here. So I just genuinely want to thank you. And I do got some footnotes, so y'all are going to see me looking down from time to time, just till I get the swing of it. I need to figure out where to put them so you can't tell I'm doing that. Um, anyway, tonight we have Who's in There, and there's a good chance he's probably going to go in. You guys know how he gets down. Um, Sometimes I do a little provoking and kind of get him going a little bit, but he doesn't need much. He's going to be talking with us tonight, sharing some things with us. And one thing I want you guys to get: try not to really get in your feelings too much, and get out of it what it is that we're talking about. N- No one is, just really don't really get in your feelings, even though I understand stuff can get a little crazy, sound a little bizarre, but just try and stay focused on what's being said, opposed to how it's being said. Sometimes I'm a comedian. I be funny, um, and sometimes I get it started. I'll be stirring up some shit, I guess, if you would. Uh, but really, you guys, we're all trying to learn something here. My phone be messing up. I'm still working on all my technical issues. But we're all trying to learn something from each other and have a good time on this channel. Um, I want you to be able to speak freely. Leave comments. I like your comments. We do got some comments. There are some comments that is for the guests that I may not get into tonight, but we will get back and get into that. But I definitely do encourage you to leave comments. Lots of comments. We need that to build. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that share button. Share this video. Help a brother up. You know what I'm saying? These things are gonna they matter to me. They matter. If you like what you're hearing and what I'm doing, let me know by hitting that like button. Share it with somebody. Help get me out there. I'll do a good job, you guys. I need your help. All right. Having said all that, I do want to give a shout out to Red Panda. This is my favorite clothing line. To just have to, man. I do wearing it out here when I can. I get it dirty. I get it clean. I'm a Red Panda, man. I'm a Red Panda. So big shout out to Red Panda. Um, Enough with the intros. Uh, I'm gonna let my guest go ahead and unmute his mic, and I think I'm in a good position to hand it over to him right now. I kind of rambled on through what I needed to say for now. So I'm gonna turn it over. You can go ahead and unmute your mic and What you got for us tonight? The floor is yours.
Man, these motherfuckers shouldn't have let me back in this bitch. Cause these motherfucking Hebrews out here think they slick on the street corner doing all that bullshit. And that's just really how this motherfucking shit goes. You understand me? And I'm coming straight out the gate because you Hebrews is lost and you on some controlling nigga shit. All you niggas is some Uncle Tom controlling nigga shit. All these niggas out here, and this is the reality. Here's the reality. A lot of these people are good people. They good people, right? The people they lead.
Hmm.
So the problem is with the leaders. Because according to that Bible, y'all stand up and down the street screaming and yelling and shit like a damn idiot. You supposed to feed the people what? What you supposed to feed the people, you Hebrew ass niggas? What you supposed to feed them? You supposed to feed them knowledge and understanding. And I bet you, whatever you got in your pocket from last week, your congregation don't know nothing. Nothing. And you couldn't stand up. You know what? You niggas would be another Billy Carson ass. If a real person, notice I didn't say nigga, a person of whatever ethnicity came with some real knowledge and understanding, scholarship. Man, you niggas are dead, done, washed up. Let's go. Who got some smoke? Because these Hebrews out here with all this La Shawan Kwadash bullshit, y'all ain't shit, man. Come on,
What
you
what
niggas
is
should get
what
fresh
what is
tonight.
that? What does
That
that
ain't
mean?
shit. Lashawan Kodash ain't nothing. That's my point. It's a bunch of bullshit. You niggas is finna get destroyed tonight. Any Hebrew getting on here is getting crushed. Let's go. I'm sorry to tell you the truth, but I'm not. This is what you niggas need. You niggas are so used to some hands together talking quiet. So I'm finna come out here and give you what you'll pay attention to. And I'm gonna tell you the motherfucking truth at the same time. That Lashawan Kodash is some bullshit. Straight up and down. That don't mean shit. That's matter of fact, that's like the same shit you niggas preach up and down against about being the devil is Yiddish. The same shit y'all screaming and yelling about Yiddish not being Hebrew, that Lashawan Kodash, that shit ain't Hebrew. That's not even nothing. Matter of fact, that ain't nothing at all. And anybody from anywhere, please get on here and challenge me on that. Lashawan Kodash ain't shit. You got no evidence. You can't prove that from nowhere.
Well, I gotta say on their behalf. Now I don't I ain't in the bed with none of these guys, right? But I gotta say on their behalf, man, they are pretty faith based, aren't they? And they're pretty strong in their beliefs. I mean, what is it about them that seems to be
I could
that has
believe
y'all in
unicorns
uproar?
are real. Who gives a fuck? That shit ain't mean. That don't mean shit
But
on everything.
is there any truth in their following
In what aspect?
in the aspect of what they're doing? Is there? I mean, it sounds like I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just trying to snoop around in their doctrine a little bit and see what is it that is so opposite to what it is that the well, do you have a faith base that you follow that you're comparing this with or have contrast to this with?
The only entity that I fear is Yah, El Shaddai, and that's it. That's the only entity I'll bow a knee to. Everybody else, you get stepped on.
Is that what is that?
That's real Hebrew, Almighty, El Shaddai, the
Oh,
Almighty, Yah.
so let me get so okay. All right. So there's a different perspective of Hebrews, is what you're referring to. With them,
Diagrammaton,
with them,
two-letter
with them.
name. All you lights out there that might tune into this, You niggas
I'm trying
can't
to
see.
I'm trying to figure out what is the difference because this I also want to be informative. We can go there, but I also want to be a little bit of informative. What is the big difference? Because it kind of sounds like um, I guess if I hadn't asked the question, I wouldn't have thought that you would have anything to do with Hebrew. But it's a different perspective of it that's good, and there's one that's not.
What I'm saying is one is real and one isn't.
Mm.
One is actually real because there's a lot of claim with these motherfucking dummies. You know, like I said, a lot of the people are good people.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid, but good people. It's the teachers that are feeding them a bunch of bullshit, the blind leading the blind. Matter of fact, let me give you niggas a little history on what you following, and we're gonna get to that language. All you gotta do is trace it back. You niggas is following some broken up, splintered One West bullshit. I don't give a fuck what group you come from and what letter and alphabet. You motherfuckers might as well be a part of the LGBTQ alphabet group with all that bullshit you got going on, because that shit is gay. Straight up and down. Because what you're doing to the people through religious concepts is leading them straight into destruction. And you going with them because you don't know nothing. You niggas should be free just like the last niggas I was talking about. You understand me? But you're not. You're still on that same bullshit, and all you're doing is controlling the people that don't know nothing anyway. And you giving them a little bit of information, like pronouncing words with the Lashawan Kodash that can't be proven, so nobody can look up what you're saying. You want some Billy Carson shit. You're doing the same shit. Nobody can actually go look up nothing in the Hebrew called Lashawan Kodash because it don't exist. It's not a real lexical, grammatical language. You can't prove it. There's no proof. But there's lots of proof about it not being legitimate because it doesn't exist. It doesn't
So,
exist.
I guess what I'm gathering is so they're based their doctrine on that perspective, is what you're saying.
They're basing their doctrine off Satan. That's who they
Well,
really serve. Let me tell you the truth.
all right, tell me the truth.
Because we gonna get to this Lashawan Kodash. But the
Yeah,
truth
yeah.
is you niggas worship the devil. You're on the street corner talking about whatever, but your real God is Satan. And let me prove it to you. The same Bible you scream up and down says God is not the author of confusion. Let me show you the deception. Neo Christians, neo meaning new, right? New Christians, neo pagans,
Mm-hmm.
neo
Mm-hmm.
Hebrews. We're gonna call these niggas neo Hebrews. They over here, then let me give you clarity. Neo Christians say Jesus is God. We're gonna use the term Jesus for anybody in here. Since nobody wants no real motherfucking smoke, sit down and listen. They say Jesus is God. The Christians, neo Christians. All right. We know Jesus ain't God. The Hebrews, the black Israelite Hebrews, they come in here and they say, yeah, you're right. Jesus, Yeshua, that's how you really say it. Yeshua in real Hebrew. But they gonna say Yahweh Shai and all that bullshit. That don't
Mm-hmm.
exist. They gonna say he ain't God, right? They gonna say he's the son of God. Because Yeshua or Yahweh Shai with that fake ass Lashawan Kodash, as they would say, said it himself. He's the son of God. But here's the trickery. Then they gonna take you to First John. And what do you read in First John? Because they tell you, oh, well, Christ, Jesus, Yeshua, Yahweh Shai, is the word of God. He is the word. He spoke everything that God said. He's the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're gonna take you to First John, where it says in the beginning, and I'm paraphrasing, The Word was with God. The Word is God. You see the trickery and the deceit that they got niggas confused in? Because they're telling you Christ ain't God, but then taking you to the scriptures and saying he's the Word of God, and now it places him back in God status. And you niggas is out here worshiping Christ, worshiping Jesus, when all worship is due to Elohim, Yah, the only true God who said it himself, there is no other gods before me. So you niggas is over here worshiping Christ, and you're breaking the first commandment that God
Yeah,
put in the Decalogue, which is the 10 commandments, Deca, 10, Logos, Word, 10 commandments. You niggas is breaking the same laws you over here telling everybody you need to keep. You see how blind these niggas are?
I want to ask something. When he says there is no God before me, is that right?
There is no God before, beside, or after. There is no other God.
Yeah. So what will he be talking about?
It's a statement. If you're talking about the biblical statement where Yah, that's his name, so that's how we're gonna address him. That is God said himself. There is no other God.
I understand what he said, but I'm saying, why would he say that if there is no other God?
Because these confused niggas need some correction and understanding.
How where would they get the idea of confusion from if there is no other God?
Because they're worshiping the devil. So you have to, it's like this.
Okay, all right, all right. I'm not.
If
I'm
you,
just. That's
no, no,
genuine.
I
That's
got you.
it. That's all. Yeah.
If your son walk in the door and starts moving and grooving, and you come in and say, "No, I'm the dad, me," right? You're addressing something that's taking place. So you have to understand there is a lot of pagan worship going on, and everybody got a boss. That's what I'm saying. All you niggas is worshiping Satan, because at the end of the day, whoever you're giving your praise and worship to, it's going up the chain right to Satan. It don't matter what God name you pick. If it ain't Yah, the great El Shaddai, you
But isn't
fucking up.
that? But that isn't that one though.
Is it what one?
You're saying if anyone doing any worship with any god or whatever, it's bad. But then you said the one that you're talking about is good. But isn't that a god? That's kind of like the God was saying there is no other God but me. If there'd be no other God, there'd be no other God to be referring to.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're saying with them, if they are choosing these, if their choices are bad, then but you choose one, isn't that making a choice?
Your connection kind of cut out. Say that again.
I'm saying if choices are bad that they're choosing, but you have one that's right, isn't that a choice as well?
We all have free will to do what we want to do. You understand? And the reality is there is only one supreme deity, but there is things that he created that people take and worship as their God. Like most people worship money, and they don't even understand what money is, and you don't want to even fucking know what money is. So I'm gonna let that be. But that's their God. They'll serve and break their back and give their whole life to obtain money. Some niggas are gay for pay. You understand? A lot of people are gay for pay, actually. But you have to understand that people can make anything their God. But when you're talking about actual spiritual entities, right, that were created by Yah, who have free will and chose to rebel and do their own will, guess what? You can give them worship, but at the end of the day, they are not God. They're just a spiritual entity that was created and worshiped as God. But the only real God is Yah. Period, point blank. Come on, man. Somebody give me some smoke, man. For real. I'm finna crush anybody on here. Let's go. Cause I'm back and you niggas got a short time with me. So anybody got anything to say? You Hebrews walking around with fringes on your shirt. That's not even how y'all told you to wear a fringe. You understand me? That's a bunch of bullshit because you don't know shit. That language you speak, bunch of bullshit. You don't know shit. You can't prove shit. Matter of fact, that language you speaking called Lashawan Kodash is not a language. There's no proof on it. There's nothing on it. Matter of fact, that's the same shit as Yiddish. It's Americanized Hebrew. That's all that is. Just like Yiddish is Germanized Hebrew.
Hmm.
That's all it
Hmm.
is. It's the
Well,
same
I mean,
bullshit you preaching against.
a lot of people don't even understand the intent of the author. They understand. I guess it's to say, they understand the intent of the writing more so than the intent of the author.
What you niggas
And
should be really speaking
uh,
is
um,
the Lashon Hakadesh.
but I do have a throw that last one out. I do have a question though, real quick. This could be just a question I have wrote down. I wanted to know. Hebrews, they have the chain of order where the woman comes in after behind the man, where the woman would be like a, I don't want to say a lesser version of the man, but the woman is like after the man, as in placement concern. This is one thing that I related to with the Hebrews is one of the practices. The one that the Hebrew following that you follow, do they have that same practice where the woman is after the man, or is it more so where they're 50-50, or is it a 60-30 thing? It's just a question I wanted to ask. It's kind of
First of
interesting
all,
question for
I
me.
don't follow no motherfucking Hebrew, nothing. Period. I follow Yah Elohim. You understand me? Second of all, when it comes to this
Okay.
woman being underneath something, you niggas is underneath that damn boss. So at the end of the day, look in the mirror and look and put your pride to the motherfucking side. Where you're getting at is a confused understanding based on the curses that happen in Genesis, where the woman would be, how you would say for your term, under the man. But guess what? Didn't the Most High make male and female in his image? He made them. So
Yeah.
how is his image any motherfucking less?
I
You
think they're
niggas better get
referring
some
to the
understanding.
second creation where the woman came out of the man. That's in the second creation. I think that's
I'm talking
probably,
about the general understanding that people have with Adam and Eve.
well, they generally understand that the woman came out of the man's rib, but don't remember that the woman was made out of the dirt on the page before.
What I'm speaking of is what you're talking about when it comes to Adam and Eve. Eve sinned, God cursed everybody and passed out curses, and he said, you're going to be under, the man is going to be the head now, right? So they want to put the woman as lesser than. But what I'm trying to get you dumb niggas to understand is that guess what? That's still the image of the Most High, as you would say it. That woman is there to help advance Yah's will. That's it. So there is no lesser than because
Mm.
she's still made in the image of the one who created her. Our whole duty is to be an imager of Elohim, male and female.
Yeah,
So
well,
if
yeah.
you're walking around talking about, she's less than, you niggas are lost anyway.
Well, I'm not saying that they promote. Well, I'm not gonna say they don't either. But what's all the stick pounding about?
The stick pounding is what babies do. No understanding. You're screaming and yelling on the street corners because all you want to do is what Yafeth do. All you want to do is what the quote unquote white corporate Americans do. And that's control people. And you got to understand you're lost doing that because That's Yah's thing. That's his thing. Your job, if you're gonna be an expositor, in Hebrew we say more, a teacher. Your job is to teach the people and let them make their own decision about it, not control nobody. You're doing it for ill-gotten gain. I don't give a shit what you say. If them niggas ain't paying, they ain't playing.
Mm,
And that's the true reality of it.
mm. What does Islam, the Moors, and the Catholics all have in common?
They all serve the devil. All religious entities serve the devil. There's only, uh, mm, I wouldn't even say minute. I'm gonna say what the scriptures say for you Hebraic niggas to understand. Broad and wide is the way to destruction, but narrow is the way to life, and few there be that find it. You niggas can understand that, can't you? So everybody thinks they fucking special, but the reality of it is the common theme. Let me ask you this.
But wouldn't someone just come and say the same thing about you?
Exactly. So this is how you test the motherfucker. I'm about to
Okay.
ask you, what is
All right.
eternal life?
I can only imagine it's a life that doesn't have an end.
There you go. And that's what 90% of Americans in the world is going to tell you.
Well, I don't know if 90% of America gonna tell you that it's something that they can only imagine.
What I'm saying is they're going to be wrong. It doesn't matter what they tell you, they're
Well,
going to be wrong. But the answer is right there. The answer is right there. If you read Matthew, Christ tells you what eternal life is. Let me give you some scriptures for you Hebraic niggas because that's what you understand. Hosea 4 and 6. What does it tell you? My people are destroyed for a lack of what?
lack of knowledge.
There you go. So, first of
Mhm.
all, he's telling you you're destroyed because you don't know shit. That's in all areas. You're the lowest in education. You're the lowest in financial education because if you think you financially got it together, everybody do this with me. Go ahead and get your ATM, bank card, whatever the fuck card you got, and stick it in the nearest ATM. And if you don't like what you see, you need financial education. That'll tell you right there. You're destroyed in political realms. You're destroyed in all realms because you don't know shit. All you want to do is consume, overconsumption, but you don't want to use your brain to learn something. Okay? Hosea 4:6, you're destroyed for lack of knowledge. So he starts off telling you that this is why you're destroyed. Let's move along. We're going to go to God Himself. In 2 Timothy, He tells you His will is that none should be destroyed, but that all should come to the knowledge of the truth and be saved. And this is Yah's will. So he's telling you in Hosea that you're destroyed because you don't know shit. He's telling you what his will is that you would come to know something, come to understand the truth so you could be saved. Saved from what? You could be saved from, let's say, mm, judicial persecution. You could be saved from financial destruction. You could be saved from political. You could be saved from, let's just cut to the chase. You
Well,
could be
how does
saved
he?
from that because breaking God's commandments, Yah's commandments, is going to lead to death. Sin is breaking of Yah's commandments. We can see that in John, in 1 John 3 and 4.
But isn't the one he who don't sinneth die too?
Well, this is the reality of it. The reality of it is this flesh that carries sin is going to be destroyed. But your flesh doesn't make decisions. It just acts out in the conscious, or I should say, in the physical reality that something that starts up here, which is in the spiritual. All your decisions, even your hand on your mouth, is being controlled by your brain which is getting its information from the unseen. That's all it is. So at the end of the day, let's keep going. So we have destruction in Hosea because you don't know nothing. We have the will of Yah that you should learn something so you could be saved. And then we're going to go to Christ in Matthew. And what does Christ say when he prays? He tells you, now this is eternal life. So he cuts straight to the chase. You can look this up. But he tells you eternal life is that they may know the one true God and his son. In English, it says Jesus Christ. But in the Hebrew, Yeshua HaMashiach, which literally translates to Yah, Yah, Shua saves. Yah saves Hamashiach, the anointed, or the anointed one, if you want to put it like that. So at the end of the day, the concept from beginning to end is that nigga, you need to learn. You need to come to the understanding of the truth. You need to get some understanding, and that is what shall bring your salvation. It even tells you in the Bible that knowledge shall be the stability of the times. It's all about understanding. Because if you don't know you're doing something, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get destroyed. You can go to court right now for breaking a law you don't understand and didn't know you were breaking. You're still going to get persecuted for it. You're still going down. Ignorance does not negate the law in any state, on any continent, anywhere. It's the same with Elohim. Sorry, you had the same 24 hours to learn. You can read, you can write, you should have learned something. But all these niggas want to do is get on the internet, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You got all these wonderful resources right in your hand, and all you do is nothing. That's all you niggas do is nothing. When you niggas can really get out here and learn something, read a motherfucking book. Break the cycle, break the spell. This Bible you niggas is standing on the street corner screaming and yelling about, you're only able to scream and yell about it to niggas who don't know nothing. The first time you run up against a nigga who knows something, you gonna look like Billy Carson. Destroyed. Real scholarship. Let's go. Anybody got some smoke, man? Can you see the comments? What's
So
happening,
so
man?
so so what would you like to see happen? What would you like to see happen? If you can uh, wave a magic wand, for lack of better terms, what would you like to see happen?
My opinion don't mean shit. Only
I
the
know,
truth
but I'm just
matters.
asking.
Only the truth matters, and that's what I would like to see is the
Well,
truth.
well, 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 what is that? How do you answer that question? I suppose you're using the truth, but you're answering the question.
No,
So,
because what you're asking is personal, and I'm not here for nothing personal. I'm only here to speak the truth, and that's it for you niggas to get some understanding. Your time is short with me because, hey, man, say, man, I'm getting on niggas, so you'll get some understanding.
so is there any aspect of what they do that you appreciate?
No, no. And I thought
So you
about
would.
that. I
Mhm.
thought about that, and I said no because you're worshiping the devil. You're blind. You don't understand it. But the blind leading the blind. I think I said this before. Guess what? The blind leading the blind, and both of you niggas end up in the same ditch. So no, I don't appreciate it because it's a waste of time. If Elohim, if Yah doesn't establish it, what's the Bible y'all niggas read say? You labor in vain. It doesn't matter. You're still worshiping the devil. You're still getting destroyed, and you think you're doing good. This is why the cryptic messages are in there to tell you on that great day of judgment, many are going to come saying, Lord, Lord, I prophesied in your name. I cast out devils in your name. I did all these wonderful works. The scriptures call it wonderful works. And guess what the judge says? Nigga, I never knew you. He didn't say I knew you one time, but you fell off. The word was, I never knew you. You never not one time had a relationship with me. Get the fuck out of here. That's straight up and down. So all that shit you niggas is out there screaming and yelling, ain't doing shit because you don't know shit because you're still trapped. You niggas called it the Great Awakening, and you can't even wipe your own ass properly. So what awakening did you come up with? The craziest part that people still don't seem to understand is you have regulations for every aspect on earth. Not anybody can just be a doctor. You'll go to jail for impersonating a doctor. Not anybody can just be a cop. You'll go to jail for impersonating an officer. But all of a sudden, anybody can pick up the Bible and be a preacher all of a sudden. The funniest, goofiest shit that I seen earlier the, today? This nigga Denzel Washington done went ahead and got baptized, which all he did was get wet because he didn't get baptized with the authority of Christ. And in the same day of his baptism, he gets ordained as a minister on day one. Now, what type of shit is that? How you gonna get baptized and get out the water still wet and get your minister's card? This is the type of foolery and the fuck shit that these niggas are out here doing, and everybody's just going for it because they preach for profit. Like Paul said, these niggas are out here preaching for profit.
Yeah.
And that's straight up and down, man. These niggas don't really know nothing. They don't know nothing. That language is fake. You niggas is following some shit, like I said, a splintered version of the One West group that started, and that group came from something called the Commandment Keepers back in the early 60s by a nigga named Abba Bivens.
I was
All
going to
right.
ask you about that. I was going to ask you about that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
what you niggas are following. That's what you niggas are following. And guess who his teachers were?
What?
Niggas, his teachers were those niggas you see with the little box on their head. You know that little box
So,
that we wear?
so that's why
That's
I
what
was
his teachers
asking.
are.
So, all three of those aren't of one. Those three followings that we talked about earlier, they're not all of one.
All that shit is bullshit. Yeah, 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 yeah. They
Yeah.
are one. They're all worshiping the devil. That's what they're one in. Now, there's
I
different
could do that
versions
on
of it.
another. I could do that on another show. I could do that on another show.
No, we can
Uh,
do whatever smoke you want to do because all that is just different versions. You niggas is following something from way back that you don't even understand that splintered and became all these fucking alphabet groups: IUIC, GOCC, HOI, whatever's whatever is out there, House of Israel, HOD, House of David. All you niggas is weird and weak. You guys, I'm gonna tell you like the scripture says. This is what you understand: ever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. I'm talking the biggest shit. You know why? Because you can't beat it. It's the truth. You niggas is out here. If we sat down and really read some Hebrew, let me give you some real controversy. The staple that they built this bullshit on is Deuteronomy 68:28 or 28:68, excuse me, about the slave ships. And if I said it right or reverse, who gives a shit? Because you know what I'm talking about and you can look it up.
all right.
Slavery, slave ships. That's what they built the doctrine on. That black people, they're really racist. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is really how you want to say
What
exclusivity.
around what timestamp was
What's that?
that you were just referring to?
Deuteronomy 28
No, with the
68.
no, with the slave ships.
Oh, they're talking about the transatlantic slave
I
ships.
understand that. What time frame was that?
Shit. When it happened. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but that's a
All right,
reality that took place. Right?
all right. Because there's a few things that went on back and around that time. I think that's when the Black Bible was created.
Well,
somewhere.
there's a lot. See, there's a lot more slavery. There's Arab slavery. There's Jewish slavery. There's all types of slaveries that took place before
Well,
this one.
here. Let's just take a little turn, just a small little turn. What? Who were the people? Despite how I feel about this and know the answer to it, none of that's important. I want to pick your brain. Who were the people that the Bible is referring to that's cursed with the nappy hair and the big nose and you know about that thing? Who are the people that he was referring to?
The reality is people want to itemize the curses. Everybody's cursed, and I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but everybody's cursed. Go back to Genesis, nigga. Do you gotta work? That's a curse.
All
Did
right,
you die? That's a curse.
all
They want to
right, all right,
itemize curses and be racist and shit when the reality is nigga, this whole
all right,
earth is cursed. It was given into the hands of the
all
wicked, and that
right,
will be completed. But once
all
that
right,
completion is done for you lights out there, your destruction is immediately then.
all right,
So we gonna keep it
all
pushing.
right, all right. I
But
just felt some kind of way about that, but uh, you know,
well, you
I
talking
know what it
about
sounds. I know what it sounds like it described. You know, but
well, we let's talk about some curses because here's the reality. That's why I'm getting to Deuteronomy is that they're saying, "Oh, we broke God's law." So we went through the transatlantic slave ships, and it said, "There you will be sold for bondmen and
mhm,
bondwomen, and no
mhm,
one would buy you." Right?
mhm, mhm.
That's what you read in English, and this is a problem. This is why you niggas are lost because you cannot and you refuse to use your brain to learn Hebrew because oh, it's the white man's language. You niggas don't know what the fuck it is to even call it anything. We understand Yiddish is Germanic. Yes, we get that, right? But the
Mhm.
Lashon Hakadesh, that's the real holy tongue, which you niggas should learn. We get more closer to biblical Hebrew. So when you start looking at biblical and you read biblical Hebrew, and you look at that same passage in Hebrew, non-translated, it doesn't say what it says in English that you would be sold as bondmen and bondwomen. What it says is you would sell yourself because you would be broke. Part of the curse is you would lose everything. So you would seek to sell yourself, your labor, your skills to earn money for yourself to provide. Let me give you some common sense and ask you a question. If you was hustling in the streets and you was hustling in an area and you made a little profit, you made safety, and you got up out of there and you fell on hard times, what you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Anybody, what you gonna do?
Oh,
Most likely you gonna go back to what you know, right?
oh, I'm gonna
You
get it
gonna
in.
you gonna go back to what you know that got gave you some money. Here's the
I
reality.
understand. I understand that. I
Egypt was
understand.
used a lot of times for safety. What happened when let's say what happened with
Okay.
Christ? Where did Christ go when it was persecution? I'm gonna let y'all answer that. What happened when the famine hit with Joseph and his brothers, Israel, the 12 tribes, quote unquote, but all the brothers that came from Jacob? Where did they go? They went to Egypt. There was a league you can even see in Hezekiah's seal. They had a special league with uh Egypt. Egypt was used for safety a lot of times by Israel in biblical times. So, in a time of persecution, where would one go? Back to where they always went for safety.
Yeah, that's just
So,
what.
that's what anybody would do in any situation. If you from a block and you get up off of the block, but you gonna go back to where you know you can be safe, or you can make some bread, or you can do something to get up out of that situation. So, biblically and historically, And this is why first century history is extremely important. Cultural context. These niggas fell because they broke the commandments. They became impoverished. So they sought to go back to where they knew and use their skills to try to get money to provide. And this is what learning does. This is why, see, this is why the Bible is difficult to read. I'm making a proclamation right now. You goofy niggas don't understand the Bible. It's one impossible for someone to pick that motherfucking Bible up and read it and understand shit. You ain't gonna understand. You need to be taught. And not by some goofy nigga on the corner screaming and yelling. Talking about Lashawan Kodashi Hawashai bullshit. You ain't gonna get nowhere with that. You need some real scholarship. You need some real understanding in this motherfucker because without that, you're gonna die and you're gonna get duped and tricked into worshiping Satan. Real shit. Anybody that's really popping that shit though was killed. Look what they did to Christ. Look what they did to the disciples. You niggas ain't doing shit but playing your way right into destruction. Let's go. Who got some smoke, man? We up in this bit. We up in this motherfucker, and I'm talking big shit. And I'm gonna keep talking that shit until somebody gets bold enough to come publicly get their ass whooped.
Yeah, they will at some point. I will set a platform up
Yeah,
where
cause you
there
niggas
can,
gonna
there can
get the
be
truth.
people on there and give
See, if
them
we
a
sat
chance
down in
to.
a real environment, this ain't no debate. We just popping it. But if we sat down in a real environment where we could present facts and understanding, oh, you're really fucked, then you niggas is really fucked.
Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Cause at the end of the day, whatever little information you thought you had, it's just gonna be a bunch of bullshit. So I'm imploring you, go get everything you can get and present it. Present it. Cause right now we just popping it freestyle off the cuff, coming with the shit. Cause this is the only thing you niggas seem to understand. Is a nigga talking like this, you understand me, to where you might actually get something out of it. But at the end of the day, guess what? All you niggas want some tickle me Elmo doctoring ass type shit. You don't want to be held accountable. Once real accountability starts coming into the picture, that's when everybody scatters like roaches and wants to get out of there. Nobody wants no real accountability.
Well, I'm hoping that uh, this kind of provoked a few people to speak their voice and step up and rebuttal some of this stuff that you're
Yeah, man,
saying.
we fucked up the Moors last
'Cause-
time. I'm fucking
but
up some Hebrews this time.
I'm telling you, the Moors ain't done with you.
Man, listen, the
They're not
Moors
done.
been done since the peace treaty. You niggas got tricked as soon as you signed that motherfucking treaty. So, man, listen, you got bigger problems than me. You better figure that shit out. You
That
niggas
was a
made a mother
soundbite.
you niggas made a motherfucking treaty with a nigga that broke every treaty he ever made. How stupid is that? The fuck wrong with
Well,
you dummies?
I'm
Anyway,
just saying. I'm
I'm
telling you.
socking on the Hebrews today.
I
I'm socking
understand.
on the Hebrews
I
today.
understand, but I'm just saying.
They can do whatever
I've
they
been
want
checking.
to do
I've
because I
been
hope
checking
they
the
wake up.
comments. I've been checking the comments, and they coming for you. That's all I'm letting you know.
Listen, man, come
They
on
coming
with it.
for you.
I'm the nigga that's popping up, showing up. So come on, man, do what you got to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
because in the
yeah.
reality, this is for y'all. I'm popping this shit for y'all. I got the
Well,
understanding, and
well,
I'm
well,
not
well,
telling you
well.
I'm not telling you I'm God. I'm not God. But at the end of the day, I must learn. I'ma learn.
Who is the God that they're referring to?
Who is they? The Hebrews?
Yeah, I mean that's our topic. So
They
who
think
who?
they're referring to Elohim. They think they're referring to Yah, which is the
Hold
digrammatical.
on, wait. Is that okay? I know that one,
They think they're
but
referring to Yah the Digrammaton. The Tetragrammaton, you niggas can't pronounce. Nobody really knows what that is. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but in reality, the truth is, real scholarship, don't nobody know how to pronounce that. Nobody. So that's why I just stick with the Digrammaton. You niggas don't even know about the Trigrammaton. You niggas have no understanding who the fuck you are trying to worship. So I'm telling you, you're worshiping Satan. Get some learning and knowledge like Yah told you to do. That's his will. You
so
want to serve Elohim? Start learning and learn from some accredited scholarship. Would you, if you had a bullet wound, would you go to the motherfucking nigga in the backyard? Or are you gonna seek a doctor? If your
what is
car's
the
broken
behavior?
down, say
Go
what?
ahead, go ahead, go no, go ahead,
If
go
your
ahead.
car's broken down, are you gonna go to a random nigga on the street, or are you gonna find a mechanic, or at least a nigga with some tools, right? Basically what I'm saying is you're gonna go to somebody that's accredited for anything, any necessities in life. You're gonna go to something that's accredited. So why the fuck are you going to somebody with no accreditation? I'm not telling you, okay, here we go, the white man, you want to get a master's degree. See, it's called master degree. You're getting a degree from the master to preach his jargon.
Hmm,
Okay, okay. Well, here's the
hmm.
reality, motherfucker. That same gun that you used to kill that other nigga that looked just like you was made by that same nigga. Was made by that same motherfucker. Do you produce guns? No, but you sure use them to kill your own people, don't you? You stupid fuckers. Do you own any clothing? Nike. No. You're paying to put on a shirt. If you niggas was really smart, you would make your own shit like Red Panda's doing. You would get your own shit, make your own shit, and start getting your own shit. But all you want to do is talk about what the next nigga's doing and not doing, and how foolish and goofy the next nigga is for using the white man stuff.
All right, I got to ask something.
Come on.
What, what can I expect to find out of one who who found the right doctrine? What will I notice about that person that's different than everybody else?
What you gonna notice off the bat is knowledge. That's what you're gonna notice off the bat. And we're not talking about pseudo. We're talking about factual knowledge that you can test.
Okay,
Knowledge
knowledge,
that you can,
knowledge,
but not just knowledge. Knowledge you can test.
knowledge
Not
that you can test, knowledge, okay,
that you
and
can test.
okay, knowledge
Say
and
it. Yeah, say it. Knowledge you can test.
knowledge you can test.
There you go. Knowledge you can test. That's the first thing.
Okay, knowledge you can test.
Oh, you want some
Oh,
more?
that unless that's it. I guess what I'm trying to find is what's so if the person doesn't display any knowledge, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference from him or the people that worship Satan.
The the reason why I stopped at knowledge you can test is because once you have knowledge you can test, then you can make up your own mind. I'm not into controlling motherfuckers.
No, no, no,
So
no, 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 no. I'm asking what can I expect to be different? Okay, he has knowledge. What else? Is he an asshole? Is he a comedian? Is he a jerk? Is he a what can I what makes him different? Because if there's only one right God and someone finds that, you would expect that person to be considerably different than everyone else.
I'm giving you it because it doesn't matter if that motherfucker say every curse word known to man, or if he's how you say the meekest person in the world. The point
Mhm,
is everybody has free will to be who they are. You're supposed to be an
mhm.
imager of Yah. There is no limits, right? We're dealing with an unlimited deity who exists outside of space and time. So to put a they supposed to be like this is some bullshit. But what you have to have is knowledge you can test. This is the concept of the Bible
I, I,
vertically,
I understand the
horizontally.
knowledge part, but I mean, do they? Can they fly? Do they? Strong like an ox? I'm trying to figure out what is it that's different. You, I, I'm
I'm
being
telling you
genuine
what's
though.
different. Knowledge
I
you can test.
understand. I understand the knowledge, right? So if I'll give you an example, a gang member, I can identify a gang member just by their swagger, right? That's what I can know is different from the one who doesn't have the swagger of a gang member. Two people can walk down the street. One can be in the gang, one can not be in the gang. I can identify who's what just from
And,
my
and
observation.
and why can you
So,
do that?
because I have
Because you
knowledge of that.
there you go.
So I'm
That's what
asking,
I'm ultimately saying.
so right. So what I'm saying, that was just an example. What I'm saying, what can I find that they're just going to be just a regular Monday through Friday person that just has knowledge?
No, knowledge you can test about who y'all is. Because here's the reality. You're supposed to be an imager
Like
of
like like
Yah.
like 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 they wear the things on the head when they believe that the Moors got the red hat with the little thing and be doing the spinning. Uh, you know,
Yeah,
the cowboys wear a fucking cowboy hat, right? I'm trying to see what can I find?
yeah. The monkey off
What
Aladdin
what
wore that
what
same
is
hat too.
what is the big difference in the one that knows it all, got it all figured out, opposed to the one that doesn't? Is the one that doesn't is going to be like the churchgoer, the no problem guy, and the one that does is going to be the bully? I'm trying to figure out how can I identify what's different.
It's not a bully. You're trying. See, this is the problem, and this is the remedy. The problem is you're trying to put an un uh boundable, something with no limits, no beginning or end in a box. You're trying to put this is the same thing why there's a whole thing with the name. When Moses came in Exodus 3 and 14 and said, well, what is your name? All right. The response he got was Achea Ashar Achea, which transliterates directly to I be who I be, meaning I just be. All this I am shit is a bunch of bullshit. That's not even Hebrew. That's Latin. To get I am, you have to use Latin. So that's not even. This is the problem with
I
the
mean, to get
translation.
Jesus, you got to use
Yeah,
Greek.
yeah, we understand.
So
No,
so
Jesus is English, but Jesus is Latin, which it came from, and then it went to Iesus, right? And
mhm.
further and further back into the Hebrew. But what I'm trying to put is that's the problem in the translations. It's lost. There's a lot of stuff lost. There's a lot of stuff you'll never understand. And so the reality of what you're asking me is how does one identify? Well, you're dealing with a deity that exists outside of space and time, trying
Yeah,
to
but I
put
wouldn't. Yeah, but I wouldn't expect Great Robin, or I didn't mean to say that. Great Robin and Unliving People will be one of the characters of this, but which I know it is, but it's not commonly displayed. So I guess I can take the answer as this. I can see it being more displayed than one that knows the knowledge. It's okay. He can do all those things I just mentioned and be good because this is the power of all everything.
okay, okay, let
It's
me let me
evil.
wrap let me let
Hold,
me
hold
wrap
on,
it
hold
up.
on, hold on. It's evil. It unlives. The children is no exception. These are characters that I can expect the one that has it all figured out to behave in that manner. At the same time, bake cookies for his grandchildren and tuck them in at night. But grape the ones next door and unlive them because he's some of everything. If that's the answer, that's just the answer. So I'm trying to figure out what can I find that's different. If you're saying there is no difference, then that's what it is.
What
And
I'm
I'll
the
accept that
reason
if that's
the
what it
reason
is.
Yeah, the reason why I keep repeating myself, one who has knowledge that's testable, and the and the goal is to image Yah, is because here's the reality. Everybody has their own perception. So guess what? A nigga comes in and robs you. You kill his bitch ass. He
Hmm.
dies.
Hmm.
Okay. He died.
Try to
He
say unlive if you can. They're probably gonna get me.
okay,
But
okay.
go ahead.
You
But go ahead.
unlived him,
Hmm.
and guess what? To the ones that are within your household, you're a hero. You're a savior. You protected them. He was trying to commit some type of illegal activity,
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
defended your home. But to
Hmm.
his side of the tree, you're the
Excellent.
devil. You just killed
Excellent.
him. You just murdered him. Oh my gosh, he's the devil.
I like how you did that.
It's that's why it's like you're trying
All
to
right.
put Yah in a box, and that's impossible.
No,
You can't do
no,
it.
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to see if I can expect those characteristics out of the one that's got it figured out.
Well,
But I
I'm
get it.
and
I get it.
nobody's God. That's my point. Nobody
Ah,
is God.
but the idea is to mimic the characteristics, right?
The idea is to mimic your son when he's young. He looks up to his father for
No, yeah,
everything.
but not my character because I don't got to be a kill unliver,
Well,
right?
no, I'm just saying in general. In general
But I'm
society,
not talking about in general. I'm talking literal,
okay,
as
so
in looking
literally,
for.
children look up to their parents. Girls who have fathers in their lives tend to go after guys that are like their fathers. Same thing with boys. Go after women that are typically like their mother. Now the society is fucked up, so it's all types of fucked up shit going on in here. But at the end of the day, our job is to image Yah. We were supposed that was the original job. We were supposed to be the image. That's why when he said, "Let us create man in our image," that was the whole thing, to image, which is why we were given sovereign domain and rulership to execute over the earth. But guess what? We didn't do that. We didn't image Yah properly. So thus we're destroyed continually because we have sin and we keep sinning and we're doing shit that we don't even understand is procuring death.
Hold
Every
on.
action produces something.
How could I be made if I was made in the image of my maker? How can I have been made wrong?
I didn't say you were made wrong or anybody was made wrong.
All right. All right, because I mean, typically, see, I'm the bad guy on the way to the naughty room because I haven't followed the rules of the author. So I would be typically qualified to go to the where the bad guys, the hard head goes, right? But if I was perfect, I did not make myself. If I built a car and it ran like shit, I could beat the car all day and call it a piece of shit all day. But I don't want to made it. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to. I'm not. We should probably set up something different for stuff like that. But because we're supposed to be trying to stay on topic, and I kind of let us get off topic a little bit.
No, we
But
still talking about these Hebrews because they don't know shit.
well,
They don't know
hopefully
shit.
they get some. Hopefully they learn something, get something out of what we're talking about. I hope anybody gets something out we're talking about tonight. Uh, but that's what that would. It just kind of turned into that real question that that you know if I really am mimicking those characteristics, then I'm eligible to do all things, and
Yeah,
I
if you're,
cannot and it can't be shouldn't be looked at as bad or evil.
it's all about circumstances, right? How you do something.
Well,
Like,
but that's not for. I'm just saying that's man judging. Damn, what man talking about?
no,
If
we
if
talking
my
about
if
facts.
I'm if I'm saying to my creator, uh, I wouldn't have to justify my actions to the one that wrote the role. How do I got to justify? Man, you made me a person that behaved this way, and I behaved that way. Why would I need to try to justify it?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's that's
You
the
get what I'm?
I
Okay,
get
all
exactly
right,
what you're saying,
okay,
and that's what
all
I
right,
because that's what I'm saying the same thing. But everybody puts labels on things how they feel and see based on lack of
okay,
understanding.
okay. I
Your
could dig
lack of
that.
under,
I could
your
dig
lack of
that.
understanding causes you to see it and be it some way when you don't understand, right?
I can
So
take
let's
that.
give you some factual actuals. You have to drink water or you'll die, right?
Yeah,
If you
as
don't
far as
drink
I
water,
know.
well,
Yeah,
if you
well, I've
don't drink
always
water,
drank it, so yeah,
I'm saying if you don't drink
yeah,
water after a certain period of time, however many days, you
yeah,
eventually gonna
yeah,
die.
yeah.
You're
You're
gonna
done. Yeah,
unalive, right?
that's
Well, guess
correct.
what? You drink too much water and you'll still be unalive.
You got me there.
You have to eat food or you gonna unalive, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
guess what? You eat too much food, you gonna blow up like a bear and you gonna unalive, right?
Still, yeah, that's correct.
So the reality is more about how you do with knowledge versus what you do with no
Okay,
knowledge.
okay.
It's more about like that. We
I can
have
get
free
jig. I
will
can work with that.
to execute because we're dealing with an entity who doesn't have no beginning or no ending. It's out.
I can.
This deity is outside of space and time. So to try to put a certain way, the reality is the very standard of what righteousness is him. The very standard of what righteousness is, of what goodness is, of what mercy is this deity. That's what niggas don't understand. It's not that I did something or this deity does something that i.e. qualifies for righteous or good. It's that this deity is actually what righteousness and goodness is.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
in reality, you niggas need to learn who you're serving because you don't know who the God you proclaim actually is. You don't know him. And I guarantee you don't know this deity. I guarantee you don't know it because all the shit you Lashawan Kodash speaking ass niggas are doing, you wouldn't be doing it.
I get
You
it.
would not be doing it. You would not be doing it. All that putting the woman down and bitch shut up, you wouldn't be doing that. Now you can tell a bitch to shut up because sometimes, but
Yeah,
that's your
yeah.
prerogative. You understand me? What I'm saying is you would see her as an image of the creator, proper. You would see yourself that way. You would execute. That's why these words are trickery, spells, and magic. They use the word kill, but that's not the same thing as murder. You niggas kill stuff every day. If you stepped on that bug, did you kill it? So did you break the command? That burger that you ate, you
Hmm.
killed it, right? You
Hmm.
killed something for you to live. That's the laws of nature, right? But
Hmm. Hmm.
murder is a different aspect. This is why Hebrew and linguistics is so important for you niggas. Let me give you a little bit of understanding here. When you start learning Hebrew, right? For real, biblical Hebrew, I'm not talking about Yiddish, biblical Hebrew, you'll run into a word called, how you say, it's ot. This is I'm gonna give you an untranslatable word, ot. The Hebrew word ot, the Aleph Tav. Okay, that's a word you can't translate into English, right? But in linguistics, that serves as a marker sometimes. So the reality is, here comes understanding. If you thus learn "ot" is a marker, like I'm pointing out the next word of importance by putting "ot" in front of it, okay, that's good in the context that that's true. But if you blanket that, then you messed up because "ot" doesn't always stand as a marker to something that's coming next. And so this is why linguistics is very important. It's the same
Hmm.
way English is. Nigga, we got there, and there. And each one is different, has a different meaning.
That's a good one. That's a good example. That's
So
a
you
good
need to
example.
know what's going on. You need to know what's actually happening. And what's going on is because you don't want to learn, you niggas just came up with some fucking bullshit and called it Hebrew. And it's some bullshit. This
Is
stuff
it
is
that?
well documented.
Is this Eleanor Ben Yehuda's version that they're talking of today's Hebrews? Is
Elahu
that the?
Ben Yehuda.
Yeah. Is he the one who made the lexicon, who redid the Hebrew language? Him and his wife and brother's son. You know the little thing they had going. He
To
the
be
one that wrote
honest,
the Hebrew Bible. You know the white guy from up north went down to Africa and rewrote the Hebrew language.
bring him
I
up.
was just Eleanor ben Yehuda. He had a lexicon down in Egypt, but he's from the north. He went down there, and that's who the that's why I was asking you. Is that the book that the current Hebrews are? Because I understand they say the white man's the devil, but the Hebrews, the white man that actually wrote that book. He
What's
died before he finished it. His wife and her first husband, which was his brothers, they had some Caesar Borgia shit going on over there. But nonetheless, that's their personal business. He rewrote
you're not
the.
you're talking you're misquoting. That's why I didn't know what you're saying. But now I know what you're saying. You're talking about Bur Barakov, if I'm saying his name correctly. It's Borakov. Bur Barakov. He was the guy.
Mm,
Yeah, he's the guy you're talking about where he came up with the Yiddish and he died and his sister finished off the linguistics book. That's the guy.
no, it was
That's the
his
guy.
brothers that no who finished off his lexicon. He
The
died
lexicon.
from he died from a common disease, not tuberculosis. He died from a common disease, but he married his brother's wife, and she and their first son, that was by his brother, finished his library. So I don't
Yeah,
even know if it's
yeah, I
finished.
understand what you're saying. Yeah, but that's the guy. Bur Barakich. How you say it? Bur Barakov. Barakov. That's how you say that guy's name.
Okay, well, all right. I'm thinking it's Eleanor Ben Yehuda, but still,
No,
that's
but Eleanor Ben Yehuda is the translated, a simulated name. Bur Barako is the real name. That's the guy who
okay.
did
Yeah,
that.
I thought we were talking about the same person because it'd be hard for someone to fit that exact agenda that you're agreeing to that he fitted. So
Yeah,
the
I'm just
the,
using the
the
real
you
name
know
versus
Jesus,
the.
Zeus,
Yeah, yeah, we're talking. Yeah, we're
yeah,
talking.
I got
We're on track. We're on track. We're on
you.
track.
All right. So that is the book that they're using today to tell the white guy that he's the bad guy.
Well, see, I can't say that, right? I
All
can't.
right, I'm maybe playing with it a little bit, but
I can't say that, right? But what I can't, because he more so helped with the Yiddish, right? You understand me? We're talking about the Lashawan Kodash, which is an Americanized Hebrew, which is some bullshit that was just pulled out of somebody's ass one day
oh,
because
so
they
this
don't.
is it's revised from that.
No, it's the Lashawan Kodash is revised from nothing, from some bullshit. It doesn't
Oh,
exist. It doesn't even come from that. It just comes from basically what this nigga did with German, they did with American speech, with English. That's
okay,
if we want to liken it to something, they just
okay,
made up, they put Hebraic soundings onto English for the most part. And then the other areas like Israel, we can see this is well documented 2,000 years ago, right? We can see it's pronounced Israel, right? And we can know that because when they created the Septuagint, when the 70 elders translated the Torah, the Tanakh, into mm, Greek for the Hebrews that were down in Egypt who didn't understand Hebrew but still wanted to read that Torah, still wanted to read that Tanakh. They translated, we can see it was pronounced basically Israel. There was no Yasha Allah bullshit pronounced. And this is why anybody speaking Lashawan Kodash, any Hebrew, come get your ass whooped and get some understanding because you can't bring no facts. You can't bring nothing at all pertaining to that language. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Period. Point blank. And this is why studying. This is why serving. And this is late into the life. So now let's really, really get into something on a short note. This is why I say you don't know who your God is, because your God tells you his will. His will is that all should come to the knowledge of the truth. This is 2 Timothy. All should come to the knowledge of the truth and be saved. So all this racist ass punk shit that you niggas is on, only Israel can be saved, goes against the very God you say you serve. Because he said all men. Period, point blank. He didn't say all Israel. That's some shit you niggas come up with. So you don't even know the will of the God you serve. Secondly, Christ, the Hamashiach, who came, the anointed one, who shown his works through miracles and power that he was sent, said that eternal life is to know. There's that key word, to know the one true God and his son whom he sent. So this is how I know you niggas don't know who you're serving. Because you're lacking knowledge, you're lacking understanding, and you don't want to get it. So you come up with some bullshit ass fuck language that it doesn't mean nothing. You can't prove it historically. You can't prove it lexically. You can't prove it grammatically at all. Be, and you say you use the excuse, well, we don't learn Hebrew because that's the white man. That's your fucking excuse for everything. That's the white man. Well, wasn't the white man born with Jacob? Didn't wasn't Jacob's brother Esau the quote unquote white man that y'all talking about? Wasn't his parents didn't he have the same parents biblically? Oh, guess what? You say, well, Jacob he loved, but Esau he hated. This the problem with English. This the problem with English. That's the problem with English. You
Well, make
niggas
that
don't
make
understand.
sense.
Make that make sense? The sense is okay, let me put you like this. Let me put you like this.
Because
Biblical,
there's 6 things that God hates, right? And the
and one of
seventh
them
is an
is
abomination.
liar.
And yeah, and the seventh is an abomination. And which
Okay.
hates when brothers fight
hmm
against each other, right?
Okay. So let's make
Right.
it make sense. Let's
So
make it
so
make
what I'm
sense.
saying is, why would he have two brothers born to do the very thing that he hates before they're even born? They were fighting in the womb, ankle grabbing and shit.
This is
I'm
the
trying to make
problem with
sense of that.
English. This is the problem with English. But here's the reality. The biblical context is very specific as far as it can be when it's translated. So, if you have, see, let's go back to the law. The law says, uh, I will show mercy, right, unto thousands of them that love and keep my commandments, right? That's the latter end of one of the decalogues, right? One of the 10 commandments. So it's very specific. He said he will visit the iniquity upon the fathers unto the third and fourth generation, specific. So he's telling you how far in the generation he'll go, but he will also show mercy unto thousands of generations that love and keep his commandments. So I'm using the law so niggas can't get around it. Okay. When he's talking uh generational, that's that's the statement he makes, that he's talking generational. When he's talking personal, that's the statement he makes. So he did not say, I hate Esau and all his descendants. He said Esau specifically. Let's let's go to Cain. Let's use Cain for an example. Cain killed him, right? He cursed Cain. The Bible gets specific. It said all the generations that came forth from Cain increased in wickedness. So Cain's line, he used the generation. Okay, when we go to Esau, it's just Esau.
Mm.
It's just Esau. That's what you niggas aren't getting. Not Esau and his generations upon generations. It's just Esau.
Hmm.
Remember, remember, Yah's will is that all men should come to the knowledge of the truth and be saved. All men.
Hmm. That was a good point. That was a good point right there. That you pulled that one together real well.
And we're real late in the live. So realistically, a lot of niggas ain't gonna stay this long to learn this. But it's not for everybody. Even though it is, freely I've received, so freely I'm given. But
I think
here's the reality.
I may soundbite that. I may soundbite that.
Yeah, go
That
ahead.
was a good
The
one.
reality is this is the this is the how you say the psyops that's being pulled. See,
Mm-hmm.
these niggas understand how the brain works, how the mind works. This is why they've
Mm-hmm.
created platforms like social media that releases dopamines and shortens your attention spans so you can only get about 20 seconds in. If it's not flashing and popping and doing all this shit to cause epilepsy within your brain, you can't watch it. You have to skip, and go past it because you'll get programmed. Because in order to learn about the who this entity is that has no beginning and no ending, it's going to take some time. And the reason why it's going to take some time is because we are in a system controlled by Hallel. Remember, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. This wicked entity that had free will to become wicked has done everything to warp, shape, twist, and turn. That's why within the scripture it says, woe to those that call evil good and good evil. This is exactly what they've done and turned the truth of God into a lie. This is what they've done. So when you try to open that Bible up and sit in the corner and read, you'll never get it. It's written in riddles and twists and cryptic language and dark sentences and all over. And I get it. Precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, which is what your Hebrews is talking about, and you still not fucking getting it. You know why? Because you don't have no knowledge. It doesn't matter how precept upon precept you want to get. The
Mm-hmm.
reality is if you don't know Hebrew, if you don't know Greek, you're fucking lost because you're not going to understand the words that are being used within those contexts so you can get to the truth, which is why the scriptures tell you to seek me diligently.
Mm-hmm.
Diligence is a very powerful word.
Mm-hmm.
Go look that up.
And it's a
Seek me
very deliberate word.
diligently. Those that seek me early, diligently shall find me. You're not gonna find y'all by just reading the book over and
Mm-hmm.
over, reading from Genesis to Revelations. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna find it with all these extra biblical books. It's not gonna happen. What you gotta do is really apply the methodology that Yah told you
Mm-hmm.
to apply, which is wisdom, understanding, learning, knowledge. Get you a moray, a teacher, somebody who's accredited with credentials that can teach you Greek and Hebrew. So that way you can start looking at these things for yourself, untranslated, and then start getting. See, because you got to understand, Hebrews is what's called a midrash. That's a midrash book. You'll never get it. You'll never understand what hermeneutics is. You don't have second temple period historical knowledge. You have no cultural understanding. Let me just give you a little bit of breakdown. See,
Mm-hmm.
niggas would never understand the Bible for these simple facts. Culturally, we're from the West. We're on the West. They're Eastern culture, two totally different cultures. Culturally,
Mm-hmm.
we've been traumatized through slavery.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never understand a free culture like that, given a divine culture like that, because our minds have been traumatized through slavery. Those are two reasons right there. Another reason, we're how you say 3,500 years away from the Old Testament and 2,000 plus years away from the New Testament, you think you're gonna understand idioms like we would use today if I call a nigga, "What's up, dog?" Somebody way in the future might be like, "Oh my gosh, he just called somebody a dog," and don't understand that's a term of endearment. That's the same thing that's what's happening in biblical times. You think you're gonna understand that without knowing first century history and cultural context?
Good
Never.
example. Good example. Good
You'll
example.
never know. This is why you need to learn historically, cultural context, Greek, Hebrew. You got to learn all of these things so then you can put it together. First century history, second century. The Gospels changed right after the last apostle died in the second century. As soon as the second century came into play, here comes the perversion of the Gospels. So, what
Mm.
I'm putting on this motherfucking live is that the real gospel that Christ taught, that the apostles taught, that the prophets proclaimed, that Moses brought down, hasn't been preached since the first century. But guess what? It's back. It's back. Which is why all you Hebraic weirdos, nigga, submit or get destroyed. All you
Hey, look,
Moors, submit or stay trapped, destroyed. All you
this is fun.
religious groups, submit or get destroyed. The whole earth shall be renewed through fire. And this is for you lights out there. You know, Bereshit, Genesis, um, darkness, light from darkness, the creation of light from darkness. Well, guess what? For you lesser lights out there, destruction through light and creation through light. No darkness.
Hey, I have to say, um, this was pretty informative. This is pretty informative, and I appreciate his time. And I think about covered everything I wanted to talk about for the most part. I didn't want to get too far off topic and going back and forth with him with some of my perspective of this. I was kind of holding back. I wanted to, but we'll do that later. We'll do that later. We'll get it another time. He'll be back again. I'm sure he'll find another group of guys to pick on here. We're just having fun. Out here. It's about 20, 25 minutes longer than I wanted to go. But um, it is what it is. Hit that like button. I really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification so you'll know when I'm live and you won't miss none of this stuff. I'll have to hear it later after someone else send it to you and be like, hey, man, did you guys hear this? Just hit to get that notification. Hit all. That way you get them. Um, yeah, that's all I really wanted to touch on. Again, appreciate you guys. I'm out. Leave me some message at the bottom, man. Leave me a comment or two. Tell me what you think about the show. What could I do better? What would you like to hear me talk about? Give me some ideas. Uh, the guy I had on tonight is just random. I get him on here when I can. It's kind of random, but we'll talk about anything. But at one of these times, me and him is going to have a shootout because I personally don't buy a lot of the bullshit that any of the shit really. Um, and I'd like to stress to him where I think it's bullshit, even his perspective of it. And he's pointing out, making some good points about other people's um, practices and stuff like that. And of course, like all of them, the one that's telling the story is the one that has the right way to go. The listener is always the one that is chosen the wrong way and needs to come be on the side with the sayer, other than the listener. And it's like that with every perspective of this line of work. It's always like that. Just like a sports basketball team or a football team. Well, some of these teams know they didn't have a chance. They were pretty bad, but for the most part, they believe that it's them that is the primary in the arena. Every fighter should believe he's the one that's going to win. That's to be expected. But I would like to pick his brain by what makes him different than others. Because he's saying, you know, I guess he's saying what they're all saying. Anyway, enough of that. Again, I'm out. Appreciate you. Give me some material and I'll use it. I'm on my phone here, so I really don't know. I don't know. Last time I just clicked some shit. I don't know what the hell happened. I'll get better on this technical, on this tech work. Y'all see. You'll see. You'll watch me get better. It'll happen right before your eyes. Y'all be able to go back and look at these videos and be like, man, remember he was looking all around, don't know what the hell. I really don't. I'm trying to end this live. Don't really know. What does this do? No, that's not it. Hmm. This might do it. All right. I think I'm out, y'all. Peace. Thanks for listening. Yep. I think I got it now. Thanks.